sip on this. Here we go, now sip on this.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Let's lower this just a hair. Welcome. Let's go ahead and switch it. We don't need to wait. You know what? Whatever. All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, commanders. Today, we are going to discuss Eden Rising. That's going to be the main topic. Let's see if I can remember to stay on topic is another thing. Live is much different than making videos. So this is also the time, if anyone's here tuning in, we can ask questions and answer them, and it's okay to go off topic. The main thing is making sure you guys get information. You have an opportunity to ask questions live and get them answered. We're sitting just, 45 minutes shy of reset? Some of you are in your own respective seasons. If you're in season 1, 2, 3, or a different version of Eden, I don't know what to tell you. No, you should be week 2, week 3? I feel like we've been playing Eden forever, but we've really only been in the beginning of the season for like a week. So, yeah, we've talked about the other seasons. Season 3, honestly, there's not too much of a difference between Doomsday Season 2 and Season 3. For those of you who are interested, there's not too much going on there. We do have, this is the time of the year for the All-Star Championship 2024 this year, obviously, because it's 2024. That is currently going on. It's generally a huge dealio. I know some other people are doing live coverage of it. And honestly, I think next year is when my grouping will be involved in it. So that should be an interesting event. Because a lot of people, especially in our grouping, have not participated in it. But what that means for you, if you're a newer state or a newer player, what does the All-Star Championship mean for you? It's basically a way for you to get rewards by doing betting or following the tasks, and you can get some pretty good rewards if you know how to spend or buy things. You may not have all the same items. I'm not entirely sure if it's the same for everyone. However, I do know that this is the time when they give an opportunity for players to buy things that are not relevant to them yet. And I would suggest that you buy those things and store them, because when those things do become available, they will be extremely helpful in getting you jump started. The Eden coin, the X legendary recruitment tickets, those are your two biggest items. Those are the things you should be grabbing. I would completely ignore the recruitment tickets. I mean, if you really need them, fine, but it's a waste of points in my opinion. If you buy everything else and that's all that's left, I mean, go for it. But core modules are going to be huge. Mod drawings, those are for your mechs and stuff. Oh, thermal power, same thing. Oh, no, I don't want to buy it. Specialty program chests is going to be for your unit specialty points, which you get at the beginning of season 4 for Eden, which we will show and talk about. The defense plan is a little bit later on. The war badges is something that you should be going on during season 3, I believe. You should get access to using the war badges for technology to get tier 10 troops. Mech battle data is later on. We don't have access to mechs at this point in the Doomsday scheduling. Super energy cores are always useful to get your Baneblade parts. Iron plates, good for equipment. Gene ther fragments for things. Titanium deposits are going to be later on as well. Doomsday coins are always good to have on hand. And Doomsday silver, same thing. Resource bundle, I mean, if you're short on resources, you need it. It's a nice little add-on. I would focus more on your bigger ones, like your core modules, the mod drawings, the thermal power, specialty program chests, the defense plans. You probably will get a lot of war badges, but if you're down to that point, I would get polymers and war badges and definitely super energy cores. They are very hard to come by. So if you can grab a bunch, max them out, give you a nice little extra boost there. The rest of it is all up to you. But anything that's closest to the top, I would buy right away, except for the super recruitment ticket. Just every day, I would just do this. I mean, it's not hard. Trains up to 8,000 units, gives you a bunch of coins there. Every time you do Clash of Zones, if you open up all 9 of your boxes, you'll get a bunch of coins there. I won't be able to do my 9 because it's Gathering Day. I hate it. I hate Gathering Day. And especially when you're doing Eden and Doomsday and stuff like that, Gathering's the last thing on your mind. So it's always a hard day for people that are in Doomsday Event. It's just, it is what it is. You get extra stuff for logging in, getting 1,000 tokens every week. You get an extra bonus and 5,000 minutes of speed ups, which most of you will get all the time when you try to do your Clash of Zones, and you'll get your extra weekly there too. Make sure you collect these every day and get your coins. Later on, yep, you could bet, and you'll be able to bet coins, and it's just like betting diamonds in the championship duels, and you can get more coin as far as that goes. It tells you the odds. Sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not, but you can start betting and get more coins by betting. It's up to you. I'm a little more conservative. I might not bet that much, but it is an option. Summer supply is going on. For those of you who don't know, you get the pinwheels. They had the 7-day login when it first started, all the way to 25. Some nice extra rewards, you know, nice little add-on benefits. Clash of Zones going on. We're obviously doing Doomsday. Doomsday is gonna be the one we're doing, but the Wasteland Sports Fair is back. This is how you can get extra pinwheels. It's always a fun little game. I enjoy doing it, but we don't have to do it. I'll waste my turn. I don't care. What else is going on here? Those are the major events. Really no crazy packs going on that are different than normal. It's mainly status quo as far as that goes. I believe the Grand Festival is still going on in the benefits tab. You got continuous purchase, which is always a good little add benefit for those of you who buy packs. The Grand Festival, whether you buy a pack or not, it's good little extra benefits too, to just complete basic things that you would normally anyways. Hourly challenges, 1 research, 1 Wendell for the daily, and then total resources, fighters, all that kind of stuff. Mass production or quick production, buying from the commercial hub, 15 total, killing zombies. You get a little bit of extra rewards. You get double training, you get extra war badges, get a couple of iron plates. If you want to buy the extra elite challenge, I mean, you'll get a ton of extra stuff too, which is always a nice little add-on. If you're in Doomsday, you have the investment plan and the season challenge. Eden, I will say, I feel like there's a change in this a little bit. The rewards, the privileges that you get from the rewards are going to be slightly different. You get more speed increase, you get a decrease in timer of dropping. That also changes as you get more production. These sort of extra perks weren't as available in Doomsday. Seasons 1 through 3, they're a little more available in Eden, and we'll talk about why, because Eden is a lot different than what the seasons 1 through 3 are. So season 4, they now call it Rising. I believe it was called Dissida before. For Gathering Day, you can use a helicopter and use your APC energy and trade it for resource commands, called something like that, so you don't need to waste time and get your... Yeah, that's... Yeah, so for those of you in Doomsday season 1 through 3, APC energy comes into a factor because you are using your own map. In Eden, you go to a completely different map, and you're not using APC durability. You're using battery life. It's different. Once you come back to your map, you still have the full. You have two different durabilities. That's what I'm trying to get at. But for me in Eden, I cannot gather really while I'm in Eden. So if I go to Eden, it pulls all my gathering troops, and that kind of sucks. I don't think I have the helicopter option, something like that. But anyways, Eden Rising, I guess it was called Dissida not too long ago. So if you look for videos on Eden Rising, you're not going to find them. You're going to find Dissida, which is pretty closely the same. There's going to be a schnight ton more of Doomsday missions here. I feel like I'm collecting something every time, but most of them are just like resources and a couple of heal speed ups. And then there's guild missions. So we're going to enter because I can't show you anything until I enter. So when you get to Eden, and I believe this is continuing through the rest of the seasons after this, you have to go into Eden. You can't, it doesn't involve your state map. It takes you to a totally different map. So you have to actually enter Eden, and then you have to exit it if you want. You don't necessarily have to exit. You can stay in there. But if there's anything on your state map that you want to do, such as gathering, killing zombies, anything like that, you have to go back to your map in order to do it. Same thing with duels, LC, anything involving that, national quests, those sort of things. You have to go back to your map and exit Eden in order to do any of that. Yeah, thank you. That's definitely, I appreciate it. I'll check it out and see what what's going on with that. So yeah, you have to physically enter and exit Eden every time, depending on what you're trying to do. So what you do is once you enter Eden, well, the season's going to start, your leadership should register your guild or your alliance as part of Eden. So you don't have to physically sign up. That should be up to your leadership. Everyone that is in the guild will automatically be registered. I keep saying guild. I'm sorry. Anyone that's in the alliance currently, when your leadership registers, will automatically be registered for Eden. So that when the event starts, all you have to do is hit enter and it'll take you into Eden. When Eden starts, so we're kind of like a weekend. When Eden starts, it will take your alliance and all the bases that are registered and put them randomly in a quadrant on the map. We are, I believe, in the southeast section. But the map is completely different than what people are normally used to. There's going to be big capital kind of buildings. There's going to be little checkpoints throughout the entire thing. There's going to be bridges. The whole terrain is different. Let me zoom in and see if I could find a better example to show you. But anyways, the thing is that you're going to be randomly placed throughout the entire map. From your alliance. The terrain's going to be different. You're not going to have any gathering. You're not going to see any zombies. You're not going to see anything. You're just going to see tiles and weird terrain with mountains and rivers and all that kind of stuff. At this point, the requirement to take tiles in a numerical order is out the window. You can get tiles of any level as long as you have the immunity for it. Eden is primarily based around immunity, not so much around the strength of the player, but the immunity levels of the player. Strength does have a factor when, you fight in battles and taking stuff, but if you don't have the immunity, then you really can't take it anyways, is what I'm kind of getting at. So there's no official battles like there were in seasons 1 through 3. You don't declare on someone. You don't set up a base to protect things like that. Your AC1, AC2, you don't have any of those sort of things. And your buildings are not actually placed on the map anymore. Your honor structures are just technically built, quote unquote. You just build them through here where it says build. You just click build and it automatically shows up. Now you still upgrade them the same ways as you did through season 1 and through seasons 1 and 3. I'm trying to like organize this in my brain because there's so much information here and it gets so jumbled sometimes. I'm trying to do it as logical as I can think. So the processing, all that kind of stuff is all the same. The territories, the tiling, all that stuff is the same. The way you tile you could tile off your own guild. So there's no more alliance anymore. There are guilds. You have to join a guild in order to proceed. Guild is sort of like an alliance in your state, but it's just in Eden. There are some differences with a guild as opposed to your normal alliance. Your guild can increase in size. If you max out your guild level, you can hold up to 200 members of the guild. It could be broken down into groups. You can have different teams so that you can do different tasks. And basically, it's hard to think. Now, later on, you'll have gifts. There'll be monsters in Eden. Right now, the first one, they didn't introduce anything. So right now, this is the basic of the basic. You randomly get placed on the map, and you have to join a guild and take these checkpoints. Now, there's checkpoints all over the place. You'll see them like here. There's a checkpoint level 1. This is a bridge. In order to cross the river, you can't just tile across the river. You can only go over a bridge. But in order to go over the bridge, you have to own it. Your guild does anyways. Same thing to go into other sectors or other areas. There are also gates. You need to go through gates in order to move into different sectors. So as you can see, we're in the southeast sector. This gate right here will allow us to go into the south sector. If we go into the south sector, then we can recruit or take more checkpoints. The main thing I'm trying to get at here is the way your guild becomes ranked number 1, who's the number 1 guild, number 2 guild, et cetera, is by taking as many of the checkpoints as possible. And the bigger the checkpoints, the more points it will give your guild. So all of that comes into a factor. The main thing through Eden and from here on out is taking these checkpoints and working with your guild to take and hold as many points as possible. It's like the relic event. If you did participate in the relic event, if you were around in your state when that happened, you basically set down watchtowers to combine bridges, basically, and own relics, which were basically just like towns or police, stations or malls or stuff like that. And then at a certain time, they would open up and whoever had their watchtowers touching it, their area touching it, was able to attack it and then claim it, quote unquote, claim it. It's the same thing here. That was kind of a preparation for this. But once you claim it, you get the points and the benefits of having it. And the benefits of having these checkpoints is going to be that you can move along the map. The thing with Eden is that you want to try and, I guess, control as much of the map as possible. Now, where do the battles and stuff come into play? For example, right here, we have an opposing alliance trying to get into our sector. And the only way they can get into the sector is through the gate. And as you can see, they are knocking on the gate of the southeast sector to the south sector. So if they can get through this gate, they can enter our area, they can attack our tiles, they can attack our checkpoints. But at the same time, we have different groups doing different things. We can defend any of our checkpoints. We can also progress forward. It's all about organization of your alliance, or it's all organization of your guild. It's about bringing on more members. And when you talk about a guild of 200 members, that is a lot. 200 people is a lot of people to manage. You can get a lot done. But that is also a very big task to do. And it's not very easy. So, throughout the rest of the map, though, you can't see because no one is part of the, your guild. It's just the same. There are other alliances spread out and guilds throughout the entire map. Where they are is a different story, but in every quadrant, or every sector, I should say, there is another alliance, a state alliance that is in that area doing their own thing. And we don't know what they're doing. They don't know what we're doing until they get close by. So it's a very interesting aspect. I'm trying to get my thoughts about me and how I want to kind of word it. I know it sounds like a bunch of gobbledygook, like you just tile and take buildings or structures. It's like, yeah, I okay, cool. But it's hard to grasp sometimes. So, especially when you've never seen anything like this before, this is a completely different play style. This isn't just upgrading your base. This isn't just taking tiles and protecting your AC and battling one-on-one. This is like full out strategic warfare. This is basically Risk without taking countries. It's just taking buildings instead. So that's the way to look at it, is that this is more like Risk than it is one-on-one battles. So the main goal, obviously, I think anyone who can take the world center is pretty much guaranteed to win. That, I mean, if you can hold the world center at the end, I think that's the biggest goal you can do. But that's also at the center of the map. And it is the hardest one to obtain. And that requires everyone to get there. Everyone is eventually going to probably be racing to the central sector to take the world center. But for the time being, you want to try and get as many points and control as much of the map as possible. But you also have to know which way you're heading, because you cannot just go over mountains and stuff. So you have to actually follow a path almost and work your way up and around to different areas. But you also have to watch out for other guilds and make sure you're not stepping on toes, all that kind of stuff. But outside of that, it runs the same way as Doomsday did, with the tiling and stuff like that. There are going to be way more things added in later on, but for the time being, you pretty much operate pretty similar to Doomsday seasons 1 through 3. It's just on a different map, and you don't have the battles. That's pretty much the easiest way to explain it. You still have your specialty skills. The max level is going to be 140. Obviously, I'm only at 80. It's hard to level up as you get higher. But this is also where certain people having certain jobs will come into play. This is also where some of the lesser used directions are going to become more useful. Blue up is going to be heavily useful when you go to take checkpoints, because the checkpoints will have a ton of durability, and the higher the durability damage you can do, the better. On top of that, having people with flags so that you spend less durability to attack, and putting more destruction or more demolition on the checkpoint will also help. So having people have certain jobs is going to be very beneficial to your guild. and breaking them into groups so that every group has a specific number of people that have this, that, or the other will also prove to be useful. And that's that in a nutshell. But what is also different between season 3 and 4? Season 4, or I should say Eden, you're going to start to get the unit specialty. So unit specialty will be for each troop type. You'll be able to use your little USB ports that you were getting. You'll also get them in the cos boxes as well. But you will be upgrading your troops to get a little bit extra buffs and benefits as you go along. And it just makes them a little bit stronger. Troops, you get that. You'll get troop, the unit specialty points, and I believe you finally unlock the extra tower skills. There should be more tower skills. You'll have these Warhorn for shooter fighter vehicle should be unlockable at this point. I'm trying to think if there was something else. I don't remember if there was anything else that I saw as far as your base is concerned. I think that's about it. As far as the base is concerned, I think that's the max of the new features as far as that goes. And then there's, the heroes is going to be the last thing. Let me see if I can pull up. I know that there's season 4 you could pull up somewhere. If I go to season rewards, yeah, I believe it's here. Yeah, okay. So season 4 heroes, you're gonna get 6 of them. You're gonna get I think Deuce is a fighter as well. No, he's a shooter. Okay, so you're gonna get 3 shooters, 1 vehicle, and 2 fighters in season 4. Commissar, Deuce X, Hummingbird are all going to be shooters. Caesar is going to be a support vehicle. Juggernaut is a defense fighter, and Venom Walker is a ranged fighter. Fighter heroes are not very common anymore, it seems like. So it's good to see a few extras added in. But your shooters are going to be pretty useful. They're going to do a lot of damage. Deuce X, I hear he's the worst one, but I'm not really seeing too much of, like, his skills aren't that bad in the scheme of things. It just depends on how you use it, but they're not the greatest either. It's more about deterring damage, which isn't bad if you combine them with 2 good heroes that can deal a lot of damage. But I think Commissar and Hummingbird were the more popular ones. They do a lot of damage for the shooters. Caesar is a good vehicle support, gives a lot of silence and stopping enemy troops from doing shit, and gives a good couple of buffs. Juggernaut's always a good defense fighter, so for your defense queue, if you have it, it would be good to throw in there. He can do a lot of damage and can take a lot of punishment. And Venom Walker, I haven't really explored too much on. I just picked him up, but he can inflict a lot of different statuses: poison, curse through burning, as well as it'll recover troops, and 100% chance to deal damage. So he can do a lot of status changes, and he can recover some of your troops, but he can also do a little bit of damage. So he's a little well-rounded as far as that goes. Yeah, there are a lot of fighter heroes in later seasons. Season 4, I believe, is the last one before Season X, I believe. Season X is the last recruitment group, I guess, so to say. So yeah, so that's pretty much it as far as that goes. Let's try to keep it short because I know there's a lot of things I want to go into detail on in later videos. I wanted to just kind of introduce it rather than talk a lot about it and go into a lot of detail. because I know a lot of people aren't going to be too sure about it. We still have guys that are, we still have players that are not very sure on things, and they're still asking questions and trying to learn things. It's a lot of people's first Eden in our, I guess, guild now, or alliance, however you want to word it. However, we are doing a lot of merging with different alliances that were around. So yeah, it's a lot for people to take in, especially when you just got done being accustomed to seasons 1 through 3. So I will like to delve further in videos as opposed to the stream, especially just kind of entering it myself. I wanted to kind of gauge where people are and see what kind of issues people are having. That way I can answer them better. So it's kind of hard for me to just throw everything under a general umbrella and say this is all of it in a short period of time. So I like to throw things in bite-sized chunks. So we'll do videos about it. You do have guild missions here later on every week, I believe. You got to get to a certain thing. It says get to level 10. We're at what, 17 out of 20? Right? Yeah, 17. 20 is the max, and I believe once you hit level 20, you can take in 200 people. Right now, we can take in 132, so we have 10 more spots. We have 260 total occupation points, 34 total cities, and where we are. So this is your general guild detail thing. You can see everything here. You can see you can donate antibodies, which you don't really have to. You get experience for the guild as you take tiles and take cities and all that kind of stuff. The details are all here where you can see where everything is. You get extra production bonuses if you as you level up. Later on, I believe there's combat bonuses, but right now we don't have any. All your members are here, which I won't show. The gifts, as we kind of talked about, we have the different groupings that you could put people in to do different things. That does come in handy. So as you get into Eden, if your guild doesn't have that, I would strongly suggest you start looking at that. As a firefighter, we use span of control. It shouldn't be any different here. One person cannot control 100 people. Definitely can't control 200 people. So the easiest way to do that is to break them up into groups so that those people can do their tasks in a manageable and supervised fashion, and the leader can think of the major goal. So it's no different than real life situations. It's good application here. Have a bunch of different smaller teams to accomplish different goals so that you can all achieve the bigger overall goal, which is obviously winning, trying to get number one. Trying. It doesn't mean you're going to, but it does help. You do have individual contribution things here. You get points different ways. I don't even know where I'm at. I'm probably doing crummy. Season points is by tiling. Eden demolition is attacking your cities and things. Those are the only two things I'm seeing right now as far as points given in that list. It tells you season points where everyone's infection immunity is, but I believe this is not accurate, this infection immunity, but that's why I've been told it's not accurate, but I think it's accurate because it matches mine. You could leave, you could change settings, and guild relations is basically you could talk about who you're friends with and who you're not friends with. So yeah, that's Eden. We went over the events that are going on right now. The All-Star Challenge is one of the biggest things that people should focus on because you can get a lot of cool stuff and you can get a lot of stuff that gives you a boost later on. And I think that's it, really. Your Doomsday shop, the only changes that I remember is going to be your season 3 recruitment ticket if you need any. Outside of that, everything else is pretty normal from what has been in there before. So I know this will change as you get out of different things and go into different seasons and stuff, but And everything else is the same. I don't have too many changes with Eden. I think Eden had enough of a drastic change to the way the game is played as a whole, let alone adding in a ton of extra stuff. But they also don't normally add a lot in every season. They just add in one or two things so that people get used to it, or have time to adjust, I should say. So, and that's it. And that's pretty much what we'll go with there. If anyone has questions or want to ask something, we can do that now. We can do some Q&A. But I think that should cover the generalized. I know there's a lot. I know I haven't touched on a ton of stuff. And that's okay. That's okay, because I want to go into detail later on, because I know there's a lot of things, lots of things that are involved in it. So, and yeah, but if there's nothing else, then I think we kind of did a good update. Oh, let me mention one of the content creators for LSS, or one of the other ones, I should say, not one of the, because I am one of the, but one of the other official LSS creators, Melanush, is doing a, I believe she's doing the all-star, like kind of journalist stuff, keeping you up with the news on what's going on in that. So if you want to check that out, if that's a thing to watch, I would tune into her. She's awesome. It's an interesting event. It really is. And especially if you're projected to be taking part in it next time, and if you want to take part in it next time, I would watch it and just kind of see how things go. It would give you a leg up in the competition. But yeah, that's about it. So unless there's any questions, I think we'll call it a night. And I appreciate everyone for being here and tuning in. And yeah, I'll check that video out and see what you were talking about. I'll have to double check, because I'm not sure. I'll have to look. I'll just have to look and see what you're talking about. All right. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. I believe the next video will, I think I'll finish up the VIP stuff. And then as I set up for more detailed Eden videos and also Doomsday videos for you guys. I know there's a lot of questions as far as that goes. And yeah, don't forget, leave comments in the videos so I know what you might want to see specifically. I can't do everything some of you guys want, because some of you guys want a lot of the later on stuff, and I can't do that yet. I don't have an older base, so I can't show you guys, but I'll show what I can. So, and with that being said, enjoy the rest of your night. Have fun. And help each other out. And most importantly, be safe out there. Boy.